I want you to remember a love so full it could send us away.
Welcome back. Junkies on 106.7 The Fan. You know, we've been spending a lot of time talking about the Nationals. Rightfully so. Playoffs start on Friday. Got a couple of viewing parties. Lido's in Alexandria, a half hour before first pitch. That's Friday. I'll be out at Buffalo Wild Wings, Rockville. That's the Rockville Town Center, half hour before first pitch on Saturday. And a lot of people have lost their focus on the Redskins, but we want to hear from you. Has that happened to you where you're just not even thinking about the Redskins anymore? Or are you still looking at what Kirk Cousins is doing? They take on the Seahawks Monday Night Football. That's their next matchup. 800-636-1067. You can call us on the Deed Carpet Cleaning List line. Look, the thing with Kirk is it can turn around. If Kirk balls, then you just say, well, that one game was just an outlier. He had a great game against Jacksonville. Had an even better game against the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm sure he's going to be fine.
Yeah, but you bring up a good point. Where is the focus of the Washington, D.C. sports fan? Because the Nats start the playoffs Friday. All right, now you should have this kind of big build-up over the weekend for a Monday night game against Seattle, defending Super Bowl champions. But with the struggles of Kirk Cousins last week and the 1-3 start, I wonder where the focus is if you are Skins / Nats fans.
Here's the thing. The Skins fans outnumber the Nats fans 10-1.
Big time, I understand.
I mean, it's not even close. So the Nats fans are all about it. They don't give a rat's ass about the Skins.
But this is a big gap for the Nats fans to take advantage of because the Redskins played on Thursday. They don't play again until Monday.
Yeah, it's a
and you're
huge,
have two Nats
playoff.
games sandwiched in between.
Yeah, and I do think
it's rare you have a Thursday, Monday back-to-back.
Yeah.
And I do think there is an opportunity because Skins fans, a large percentage of them, have already kind of given up. They know it's not any big year. You know what I mean? It's just not going to be. It's going to be another year of turmoil and questions about the quarterback position.
And if they lose and they're 1-4, people just give up.
Terrible special teams and, it looks like a terrible defense. I mean, Skins fans have largely...
if they pull off a miracle and beat Seattle and they're 2-3, and then people are on board again.
They'll generate a little more interest.
But I think
it would have to be a miracle.
I think most people, and you can call in again at 800-636-1067. I think most people have already failed. Like you're saying, if they're 1-4, to me, I think most people go, all right, we're 1-3. We beat the worst team, which is Jacksonville. That's the only win. And we have the Seattle Seahawks who just won the Super Bowl next.
Yeah.
And then a road trip to Arizona to an
I don't even think
team.
they're looking that far ahead, but I agree with you.
There's definitely Skins fans that have changed their focus to pay attention to what the Nats are going to do.
And that excitement on Kirk Cousins, it just vanished.
Yeah. Just took one catastrophic game like that.
We were going to do T-shirts.
Well, it was in the planning.
Game.
We were in the planning stages.
Every time I come up with a T-shirt idea, everyone just poo-poos it. So
Although
same old Skins.
I think SOS.
I know you hate it, but
it's
there
applicable.
there could be gold in them Mar Hills.
Yeah. No, I hate the phrase. I hate the phrase, but it's always true.
Yeah.
But what Skins fans gonna want to wear a same old Skins? That's like something Valdez would wear.
There is a big beaten down Skins fan base to appeal to.
At what point are we bringing back the bags?
Well, we've done that bit. About every 3 or 4 years, we do the bag bit.
Right.
If they're like 1-5 or 1-6, we're doing a bad bag bit.
The bags are very unwieldy and awkward on your head.
Yeah. Didn't at one point we have like 5,000 bags that we tried to bring out to FedEx?
I believe we're handing them out like as people were walking into FedEx Field.
FedEx was hip to it. The Redskins were hip to it, and they were confiscating the bags.
That's correct.
Like as soon as you got
they
in.
had the logo on them and everything.
That's right, they
the
did.
station logo on them.
That was a good bit.
I think they are going to be 1-6.
Because go through the schedule. Who
Well,
do they have after Seattle?
Home to Seattle, at Arizona, then Tennessee comes here.
They could beat Tennessee.
Then at Dallas and at Minnesota before the bye week.
Yeah, I think 1-5 then minimum.
I'll say this. I think we've seen. Does anybody want to bet? We've seen the worst of Kirk Cousins. Like we've seen the best and we've seen the worst. We've seen his top and we've seen his bottom. He's not going to have a better performance than he did against the Eagles, even though he lost. And he's not going to have a worse performance than he had last week.
Right. Probably.
So
Probably, but I think he could
anybody want to take the bet?
I actually think he could have an equivalent performance.
You actually want to bet it?
Well, I mean, let's keep it interesting.
No,
he's not going to have a better game than
he's not going to throw 5 picks in the game against Seattle.
All of the rest of the performances are going to be somewhere in between there.
But we were talking to somebody yesterday at the Washington Wizards Media Day who's very tight with some coaches, and they were saying that a lot of those interceptions were not on Kirk, that there were bad routes.
Right.
Especially the Ryan Grant route.
True.
Pierre Garçon.
True.
I don't know. I saw him throw a couple there.
Yeah, I saw some bad throws along with some bad
I saw
routes.
a couple that he threw where it just didn't look like he saw a safety.
Okay, but just
threw a
specifically,
bunch of 'em.
JP, the turnovers.
I know.
Some of the coaches, after watching film, were saying that it was on the receivers, not on Kirk.
Okay, maybe 2 of them. I saw another 2.
Oh, look, he
that
didn't
looked
play a great
terrible.
game.
Right.
Remember, he threw 4.
He threw 4.
All right, let's bounce some of these calls. Let's find out where people's heads are at. I have noticed.
By the way, that's the old Rex Grossman line of defense. The receiver.
So they always
ran
blame the
wrong
receiver. It was
route.
never Rex's fault.
No, but there's something to be said for a coach who says it was the receiver cutting off his route.
True.
I mean, the quarterback is throwing the ball in a space.
We can all agree there's been muted enthusiasm for the Redskins this year, right? There's no question about it.
I
I've
think there
noticed
was
it in the
excitement.
preseason.
Yes, but then I think it built up after
The Kirk-
RG3 went down and they won.
There was a
with
little
Kirk
moment
Cousins,
with the
and then Kirk
play.
played so well against Philadelphia, even though they lost, it was a moral victory, and people started getting a little excited.
All right, let's go to Fred in Dale City. Fred is a huge Skins fan. Fred, what's
Hey,
up?
guys, I want to make a comment. Then I want to ask you guys a question if you'll allow me. Look, I went to the game Thursday night, probably my only game I'll go to this year. There was a mass exodus out of the stadium about 4 or 5 minutes into the third quarter. Took me an hour to get out of green parking, and that was still with a quarter and a half of football to go. I'm so pissed off that right now, first of all, Seattle's going to beat us by 3 touchdowns. I already know that. We're going to be 5 or 6 games into the season, and everybody's going to be screaming, wait till next year, wait till next year.
Already are.
As far as that goes, my allegiance has moved to the Nationals. I'm pumped about the Nationals, but here's my question. I think I'm a good Nationals fan. I went to like a half a dozen games this year.
Not
When
bad.
you look at the ticket prices for these playoffs, I used to sit a little bit to the right of first base and about 30 rows back. Those tickets were $85 during the season. They're up to over $400 now. Standing room only is $75, and those $15 outfield seats are $125 to $130. A fan like me, and I have a lot of friends that feel the same way, we're shut out of these playoffs.
I know. What can
The
you do?
average fan
What can you
can't
do?
go.
What can you do? It's
Well,
what the market will bear.
Yeah, I mean, the tickets sold out in, I believe, 17 minutes when they went on sale.
Yeah,
So
but I'm thinking, guys, if the learners could look at this, we want to get the good fans in here. So maybe take 1,000 seats in the outfield and price them where people can actually afford them. Because for a guy like me, I'll watch them on TV, but I can't afford to get in
I
there.
like the concept, but again, this is a business. It's a huge business for the learners and all the major league owners. And when they have a playoff game, of course they're going to jack up the
I mean,
ticket
the prices for
That's-
every city or during the playoffs
There's
going to be
nothing you can
higher.
do.
There's nothing you can do. All right.
And
You don't want to spend the money? Just watch
it's the
from home.
American way. I mean,
Or listen on 106.7 The Fan.
Yeah.
Listen
There's
right here,
nothing you can do.
flagship station.
Well, you can listen and watch.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend if time do the standing room only bit. You just go out and hang out at the red porch.
Or like if you're Valdez, you have a relative that's working at
Yeah,
a
but he
playoff
said
game.
it was, what was it, $125 for
Or
this thing?
75, I think, for that.
I recommend you
$75.
just join us at Lido's, Alexandria,
Yes.
Friday.
Do that. But if you want to
Good
go there,
idea.
there's nothing like going there.
Yeah, watch it for free.
Let's go to Steve in Fredericksburg. Steve, what's up? You're on with the Junkies.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, this is how bad I've given up on the Skins. The main reason I'm watching Monday night's game is to see Russell Wilson play.
Interesting.
The inconsistency of our offense, in my opinion, is not the problem. Our
I agree.
defense is horrible.
I agree.
mean,
they're going to fix
can't
the
stop
offense.
people from scoring.
They're going to fix the offense before they fix the defense.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we're toast this year until we fix the defense.
Yep. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it, buddy.
What did
Bye,
they give
guys.
up in the last 2 weeks? 37 and 45? It's a disturbing trend.
Mhm.
Right.
Right. They were okay against Chad Henne and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Well, most teams are.
Correct.
Let's go to Steve in Woodbridge. Steve, what's up? You're on with the Junkies.
I want to go on the record right now that I'm still optimistic. So when this team beats Seattle next week, when I call in, you guys can say, "Oh, you know, particularly JP, that no, I didn't call it or anything like that." I think this team is going to do it. Listen, I think that Philly game was a 2-for-1 game. I mean, I think that Philly game, that team was so beat up, and Philly for that matter, that to play a Thursday night game, I think as fans, we probably were asking for a little bit too much. And obviously, yeah, they went and they crapped the bed, and we didn't expect it to be that bad. But I really think in my heart of hearts that there was no no way they would have come back from that Philly game to win that game against the Giants on 3 days rest. I mean, they looked really bad. Having said that, I think they're a little bit fresher now. Obviously, Seattle is the world champ. I think the team's going to go out there trying their best. But ultimately, the good thing about Seattle is that, they're not a high offensive team. I think we can probably stay with them. I would put Andre Roberts on your side with your boy, the cornerback. I mean, he's a big, tall
Sherman.
Sherman is a big, tall quarterback. But, you put a quick wide receiver on him. Hopefully, we may be able to do something on that. So I'm still
You're
optimistic about this team.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to the playoffs. But I still think that, there's a lot of good football left in this game, this team, and we can still win a lot of good games.
Steve, are you going to pay any attention to the Nats?
Here's the thing about baseball and World Series. It's 7 games. I'm not going to, set my, it has to be, the last game of the series for me to get excited. But I can't get excited for a game 1 or a game 2 because I still know there are 4 or 5 games left in the series.
Gotcha.
Well,
All right,
on the
thank
first
you,
series,
Steve.
there's 5, so it's a shorter one.
And it's still the drama, even in game 1, is thick.
They're
Now,
awesome.
it does get crazier as it gets toward the end.
Well, look,
but
there'll be drama tonight for a one-off between Kansas City and Oakland. Kansas City hasn't made the playoffs in 30 years, and they're playing one game to try and advance into a best-of-5.
throwing your boy John Lester.
Lester against Shields.
A bunch of the players were at the Monday Night Football game last night.
Should have been.
Let's go to Jay in D.C. Jay, what's up?
Hey, guys.
What's up?
All right. I got 2 comments. First, about the Kirk Cousins thing. I'm a coach. Shout out to the Washington Warriors, semi-pro football team.
Yeah, what's
I'm
up?
an offensive coordinator. When you watch film, you do notice a lot of things. The only film that I saw on Kirk Cousins that the interception wasn't his was the route to the new receiver, whatever his name was.
Ryan Grant, yeah.
Yeah, he cut his route off, and he didn't fight for the ball. That one I'll give Kirk Cousins. Now, about the Nats and the Redskins, bear with me. Remember the 2012 season, the Nats and the Redskins had a lot of hype around their rookies. Both of those teams started off slow. Nobody was behind them. They had injuries to their new rookie. They came back, both of those teams, at the end of the season, won the division, and made the playoffs. They both lost, a horrible loss in the first round of the playoffs at home when they were up big. The next year, with a lot of hype around them, both of those teams missed the playoffs. This year, 2014, the Nationals started off, they weren't too good. They had a rash of injuries in the beginning. If you watch the games, FP Santangelo, hey, if you can hang around 500, and then when everybody comes back and gets healthy, maybe we can get on the road. That's what you want to do. That's what the Nationals did. They got steam towards the end of the year, and they're headed into the playoffs high. That's the same thing I think that's going on with the Redskins. They're having a rash of injuries at first. And if they could just hover somewhere around the quarter to halfway season, if they could somewhere be 500, I think maybe they can pick up some things. That's just being optimistic.
It's an optimistic take because they don't have the talent that the Nationals have. The Nationals were a team that was picked by most experts to be a playoff
Thank
team,
you, Jay.
if not a World Series team. There wasn't anybody picking the Redskins to go to the playoffs or go on a Super Bowl run before the season. That's where the comparison is off.
By the way, I'm looking at StubHub. Standing room only. There are 2 tickets available for $64. Most of them, though, are in the 70s, 80s. And, left field seats, $140.
Well, that being
That's the
said,
lowest price.
it's going to be sold out, and all the standing room only seats will be sold out, or spots will be sold out.
Well, I mean, again, this is not from the Nationals. This is from StubHub.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so you do pay a premium.
All right, we'll come back, take more of your calls at 800-636-1067 on the Fan.